As a brand, you can't claim to be authentic. Authentic, you have to be judged by the audience, by the consumer. They're the ones that decide if you're authentic or not. They're the ones who want to call BS on whatever program you're doing. And so for us, we strive to be the number one authentic running brand.
We're suddenly worthy of being cool. It's a bold statement for a brand that has always prioritized biomechanics over bravado. But for my guest today, that coolness isn't manufactured, it's earned. Mike Peck is the Vice President of Creative at Brooks Running, and he's the engine behind the brand's visual identity and cultural resonance. From high fashion collaborations to powerhouse partnerships with stars like Cynthia Erivo, Brooks is finding its stride at the intersection of performance and culture. Today, we're exploring how Mike's creative lab keeps the narrative authentic, why they are leaning into mental wellness, and how they stay right in the center of the algorithm. I'm Leslie Blunt, and this is Campaign Chemistry. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today. This should be a fun one. Just tell us all about, what your role entails. What does VP of Creative do at Brooks?
I don't know. I tell people I have the coolest job in the business. I get to work for this great company. So I lead our creative team in-house. So we do about 99% of the work that you see out in the market, we do entirely in-house. So we've got this great team of over, around 100 people doing all of our advertising. We do packaging, retail store design. We're doing all kinds of stuff. And if we're not experts in it, we have great partners that we can reach out to and work with. So I get to be a part of the senior leadership team here at Brooks, which is another perk of that sort of creative in-house side. So I get to be a part of the business. I get to be a part of the creative and keep my toes in both sides. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Our fabulous Cecilia Garzella had spoken with you about when she covered, in-house agencies. And so, obviously there's a secret sauce behind all of it. So you told us all about what Creative Lab, that's what it's called, what you guys are called, right?
Yeah, we are the Brooks Creative Lab. There's this thing about being in-house where you're often referred to as the studio, or you just kind of get pigeonholed into some kind of a production outfit. And that's not where we are. There's amazing art directors, writers, agency veterans on the team. And so we like to treat ourselves as if we are, a little bit of a company inside of a company. And so we're the Brooks Creative Lab.
All right. And so with that, obviously you guys are just like so embedded into the brand. You know what works, what doesn't, your communities. Let's talk about, the communities that you guys are obviously advertising to and, doing your store design to appeal to.
I think the running community is one of those unique ones. And I think it's one of the things that makes having a brand that can have an in-house team is, I think, special for running because it is such a niche community. And it is booming. First off, the just running in general is seeing an immense amount of growth, and we want to be out there in those communities that we serve. Brooks only does running, so that's one of the unique things about us. Is for the last, I think, 25, 30 years, they basically said we're not doing baseball cleats, football, other sports. It's just running, and granted, running's like a huge part of all those other sports, but we just make running gear. And so we're able to service the communities in a way that's, I think, a bit more unique than other brands and not just advertise to them, but be a part of who they are. We just did this really great campaign. We're out filming 9 different run crews in 6 cities across the globe. So working with this group, Dark Runners in Shanghai. So they mostly run at night along the Bund. They're so much fun. They coin themselves as a drinking group that goes running.
So wait, does the drinking happen before or after?
No, they go drinking after. They all run and they go drinking, but they're such a fun group. I've had a chance to run with them there. And so we're working with them. We have more of a long-term relationship. Craft Runners in Berlin. We've been partnering with more and more. New York Sprint Collective. we filmed a couple Harlem Run in New York. We worked with a group in Toronto, a couple in LA. So just getting to know them and tell their stories, but then also getting more involved with them with some of the activities that they're doing and staying with them long term, not just kind of popping in with some cameras and cutting out.
Right. That's the Connection Moves Us All campaign. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the short version of it, but then when I dived a little deeper, I saw there was a 12-minute video, and I will have to return to it because it looked pretty cool.
It's, if I may, this is a story. This is pretty awesome. We were out, we just went to go capture their footage, and catch a little bit of their story. We had no intentions of doing long form. And the team came back to me like, we got too much good stuff. We need to do a long form video. Okay, do it. Go make it happen. So yeah, this is totally born out of the team here. Like we have to tell these stories. So yes, please go check it out. Cause oh my God, once you get to know them, I loved hearing their stories. There's this group of firefighters in LA in the Valley, and they started between two firehouses to basically make sure that they stayed in shape for their fitness tests. And so it's a red line runners, and they're just like the infectious kind of group of people. They're out there for the fitness, but also for the camaraderie. And it's cool.
How do you guys find these running teams? Do they start out as Brooks teams, or do they become just kind of like, integrated into the brand?
No, we don't have, we have our own team. We have a pro athlete track team. We have those kind of teams, but these are just run crews that are out there in the communities. And we reach out and see if they're open to letting us tell their story and work with them and give them some gear. And a lot of times they're receptive to it. Some get overwhelmed. They get pretty big, and all of a sudden brands are throwing stuff at them. And that's not really what we're interested in. We want to just work with them a little bit more long term.
I see. Give us a little bit of a background on Brooks and, the brand narrative and the evolution. I know you say that you're a running brand, but you also have some lifestyle things, one of which I'm wearing right now. So
You and me both. Oh my God. Okay. Shout out to our product team, the Adrenaline 10. This is not an advertisement. This is not, if I can plug the Adrenaline 10, it's this, 15-year-old silhouette. So it's very much on trend. And then they put our most modern tech in it. So I've walked at least 500 miles in these shoes already, and I think I've only had them for a couple months. Ridiculously comfortable. So yeah, the new lifestyle is phenomenal. Brooks has been on a really great journey, I think, and like a lot of other run brands, we started out super small. I've been here almost 9 years, and we've basically tripled in size in the last few years, and a lot of that is through the pandemic and the boom that happened in running in there, people just wanting to get out and be a part of a community. Everyone wants an activity that they can go out and just see other people and have these more human interactions. And you can't run with your phone in your hand because you're going to trip and fall over something. You can't scroll while you run. You have to be present in that moment. And we're seeing, I think 60% of people only want to run in a run crew or a run group now. They'll do it at the gym and they call it cardio, but they're actually running. But when they're out on the roads, they like to do it in groups. And, it's just having this brand for us and being a part of that is great. We used to be Run Happy. People would know us as the Run Happy brand. That was our tagline. I think it'd been around for about 20 years. And it was really good to us when people needed a brand that wasn't so serious. You think of yourself in the summer of 2020, and I don't want to go out and run for time. I just want to go out and be outside. And a Run Happy brand is the perfect one for you. But the more we grow, the more we realized that we needed to recenter ourselves around where people were going, around the needs of mental fitness, mental wellness, physical fitness, social health. No one really cares just about their physical health anymore. They care about all three: the physical, the mental, the social. And so we really sort of reset our strategy around this idea of those three and this sort of concept of let's run there, and getting to that place being a little bit more aspirational. getting that place that makes you feel more alive. And so that's where we've been over the last few years. And it's allowed us to grow into new markets where they didn't necessarily understand the concept of Run Happy. And for us being a serious running brand, not just your everyday running brand, then that this new platform has allowed us to go into those spaces in a more meaningful way.
Amazing. I wish that I was more of a runner as opposed to just running for the train. But I have a terrible, terrible ankle that always reminds me that I broke it roller skating while having a little bit too much of the open bar situation. So
I have a scar on a shin. Similar story. Open bars and roller skates. It's just a bad combo.
It really is.
No one's
okay. Well, I'm going to move more responsibly into talking about your newest campaign that just came out, which features someone that I am absolutely just like a huge fangirl of, Miss Cynthia Erivo.
Oh my God, her voice.
I ugly cry every time I hear her. When I saw her in The Color Purple, I went through a pack of tissues. It was really just an incredible thing to see. So I already knew she was an avid runner, and she's very big on fitness. And I believe she had done the New York Marathon when she was doing Broadway here.
She's not just running a marathon. She is fast. She's done I think a 3:35 marathon. I think she's going for a 3:15. Oh. These times this is not, I don't think she does anything halfway at all.
No, the woman is just intense. Well, did you ever see the movie Widows that she was in?
I haven't.
Okay. First of all, you need to watch Widows. It's a movie by Steve McQueen, and it's like incredible. It's Viola Davis, Cynthia Erivo, Liam Neeson, just so many.
I'm in.
Yeah. But in one of the scenes, she's running for the bus. And like, when you say she's fast, it is on display there. Like, her athleticism is just like incredible. But now she's one of your runners, and she's going to be in the London Marathon because now she's playing a vampire on the West End. So talk to us about that.
She's doing 6 shows a week, and she's training to PR in a marathon. I mean, I wasn't a runner when I started at Brooks, and I ran a marathon a year and a half ago. I thought it was going to kill me. And here she is doing 6 one-woman shows. This isn't like this is just her.
And she's playing like 23 parts.
Yeah, she is amazing. She's and she does all of her training on a treadmill. So this is not. She is just superhuman, and she ran in Brooks before. So when our styling team came out and had a whole bunch of stuff, she's like, "No, I know exactly what I want. I know what I like to wear." So this is, I know it's one of those cool things that, if you ask me how this whole thing started, I have no idea. But she was already running in Brooks, so the partnership just made total sense for her and for us. And we're just so thrilled to work with her and tell her side of the story. We have this whole platform that we're doing for our those marathon runners, those elite runners. This idea of sort of shining under pressure, that there's so much pressure that goes into the marathon, the lead up to it, and it could be your local marathon, or Boston, where you had to PR in a marathon just to qualify to run a marathon. Boston's ridiculous. But, there's all this pressure that goes into it. And then the marathon is sort of this moment where it all gets to be released, and you get to shine, and not this, in this very glorious way. You're as ugly as you get running a marathon. But, the emotions that come out, the feelings that you get, and the self-worth that you get that lasts longer and longer. Marathons just make for this incredible moment. And so her talking about what it means for her to shine, it's literally poetry. And so we were thrilled to work with her on this project.
Incredible. I know. I did a story last year because I covered the Anthony Ramos
Yeah.
Doing his first marathon, the New York Marathon. And I saw like his journey and with Des training him, and it was interesting to watch. And then just meeting him at the event that you guys had. And I was just like, wait, what is Nick from Love Island doing here? He's also one of your runners. And I'm just like, and very tall. In case you listeners were wondering, Nick is very, very tall. But yeah, like it's incredible, like seeing you guys partner with these very high profile people that we don't necessarily think of as, marathon runners, but they're like very intense. Well, Cynthia, I knew that, but Anthony, not so much. I just think of him as, because I'm a Hamilton fan, and that's what I know him as. He's Philip Schuyler.
I know Des had so much fun working with him and training him. We have Erica Kemp, who's working with Cynthia now. She's one of our pro marathoners. She's phenomenal. So yeah, it's our pros get to talk to them about, their training, because there's so much that goes into it that when you're trying to run at that time that Cynthia's doing, it's not just about the workouts. It's about the diet. It's about the recovery. It's how you emotionally handle mile 1 versus mile 26. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's fun for our pros to get to work with them too and help them along the way.
Yeah. And when you talk about recovery, I was thinking of when you gifted Jeremy Renner some Brooks after his accident, and he was a part of a campaign that was really beautiful.
Yeah, his story, we didn't go out there and say, hey, Jeremy, do you want to be a part of us, a part of our brand? It was his first run that he did just happened to be in the Brooks that we had sent long before, and he credited the shoes with giving him the confidence to take some of those first steps. And hey, that man is he's bionic. He is beyond human at this point. And he did that all on his own, but he just appreciated our help in those initial steps. And so he was more than happy to partner with us and tell a richer part of his story. And he's the real deal. I was bummed I didn't get to meet him in person, but our team, oh my God, they loved working with him. They love Cynthia's great too, but Jeremy's the real deal. He's just so humble and authentic, and yeah, what a cool guy.
Amazing. Well, all of this really comes down to, between, the partnerships with, Cynthia and Anthony and Nick and all of and Josh Kerr and all of these people, and then also the communities. It all comes down to like the importance of authentic partnerships. This is actually a stupid question. How important is authenticity when it comes to Brooks and the way you market it and the way you present to the public, those who aren't really runners? How do you connect with people who aren't runners but are, maybe curious about it?
That's an interesting one. I think I want to hit one on the word authenticity, because we talk about it a lot, and I love the dual sides of that word, because any brand that as a brand you can't claim to be authentic. Authentic, you have to be judged by the audience, by the consumer. They're the ones that decide if you're authentic or not. They're the ones who want to call BS on whatever program you're doing. And so for us, we strive to be the number one authentic running brand. We can't just go say that and do that. And so part of that is by having product offerings that are highly trusted. The Ghost, the Adrenaline, these are two of the top selling shoes in the market for the last 20 years. They're amazing. If you're just going to start going out and running, that's like the baseline upon which all the rest of the shoes, you got to go up, or you can go softer. You can go, they're like the perfect, just right shoes. They're great if you're going to go around the block and start your sort of couch to 5K program, or you don't even want to run. You don't want to be a part of anything. You just go out and we have the product that you don't want to go and do a race. You just want to go 2-3 times around the block. And that is a huge part of, a lot of the people around here. We go on walks to do meetings. We're in this amazing part of Seattle where we have this trail right outside the building, and you just go and walk for 2 miles during a meeting because that's who we are. And you have others like Josh Kerr, telling his story is a blast. One, because he's a part of our pro team, which means you run into him in the lunchroom. We literally have this cafe, and our pros eat there along with us. So you're sitting next to Olympians. It's very intimidating, but they're also the nicest people. They're the nicest people. And so for Josh, he's trying to retake the British the record for the mile, the world record for the mile. It is a big deal in British running. That's the one record that the Brits are so good at and they love having. And he is very intent on taking that back. He's Scottish. He wants it back for Britain. And he's going to do it in London. He's going to do it at the Diamond League event there. For him, when you think about how he wants to do it for his country, he wants to do it for his family, and he's going to do it. It's not going to be some big spectacle where we rent out our own stadium and he's got like 20 teammates pacing him. He's going to do it in a race because that's how he does it. And he's earned his ability to sort of step out and say, I can definitely do this. But it's also for him just really authentic to do it in London where it matters most.
I did want to ask you if you guys saw that Brooks got like kind of a name and product drop, like a name check on SNL during Glenn Powell's SNL episode.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what was there, like a chat group? What happened?
There was a lot of mixed emotions on that one. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm forgetting the actual scene, and I love SNL. I watch them all, and I somehow am blanking on the scene that he was in. But yeah.
Okay. I will remind you because I had blinked on his name, but now that I have his name back in my head, now I have the actual sketch. And so, they did, like one of those please don't destroy type videos that they do. So, it was a song, like a video that, it was these men singing about how they miss their ex-girlfriend's dads.
Yes.
One of them was talking about like how he used to run with him, and then like how I don't know which style of Brooks shoe it was, but he brought it out and he was like, it feels like running on a cloud, which I think I have actually said before, but just like seeing it on television was just hilarious. So yeah, what were the mixed emotions? what was going through y'all's heads?
I think there was a lot more check. We were on Jay-Z's feet the other day. He was spotted wearing our shoes. Oh. I don't know. Like back to the lifestyle. People are suddenly we're cool. It's taken a while. But Brooks is cool. Didn't
you say that the business has tripled? So
yeah. So I think things are working.
I think so.
Something's going right here. And no, it's definitely you feel like we hate to say clouds. There's some other brands that use that a lot, but no, they're as comfortable as they can be. And I think the nice thing is the whole premise of, they're your dad's shoes, which I think we were known for a while. Don't tell anybody, but,
you just did that. It's okay.
That's on style. That's on trend now. Suddenly, like dad shoes is a cool thing, and so yeah, being a dad shoes not such a bad deal.
Coming back like mom jeans.
Oh,
although much cooler than mom jeans.
Much cooler, absolutely much cooler. No, when you can have this kind of the stuff that's showing up on Jay-Z's feet, that's in a SNL skit, that's also going to help Josh break a world record, or we just signed Clayton Young, who's a phenomenal marathoner, Olympian. One of the things he did is he took our product and he tested it. He's like a super running. He's of all the running nerds, he's the biggest running nerd out there. And he went and before he signed with us, he tested our product. He's like, no, this is doing exactly what I need it to do for me. And he believes in our product team, I think more than anyone on the planet right now. And so you get those both sides of the coin where they're wearable, they're comfortable if you're going to run around the block, and you got these two guys who are going to go out there and just crush it. And not to mention what Cynthia's going to do. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be around at Brooks. And
that's a perfect way to end this, because we're running out of time. You had to do it.
There's more than a few running puns that show up around here. You're one of us now. You're one of us.